Hello and welcome to the picture that painted itself. This is the picture in question. It's actually called the Sarcastic Art Teacher, and the reason I say that it painted itself is that whilst I wielded the brush, it was a repressed memory from my subconscious that actually directed the brush. This is actually a scene from an event that happened to me maybe 50 years ago, something like that. And I painted this about 5 years ago. So let me explain. Yeah. The time is early 70s, I think. The place, Manchester. This is me here as a schoolboy, about 13, something like that. This is my art teacher, yeah, and whilst I had a loving and happy childhood, it was very conventional. I went to a conventional school. It was, everything was short, back and sides in those days. Nobody had long hair like this fellow. Yeah. The teachers wore tweed jackets with the leather patches on the elbows. That was just, the way things were in those days. So you can imagine when this chap has turned up with his stack shoes and his flares, penny round shirt, long hair, he almost seemed godlike to me, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah. And the scene we're seeing here is we'd been doing a bit of pottery, and the teacher had said to us that we could all do our own personal project. Well, at the time, it was all, there was a lot of Tutankhamun with that fabulous sarcophagus, and I think it was some kind of exhibition in the country, so there was a lot of publicity about it. And I said to the teacher, I said, I think I'm going to do Tutankhamun. So I guess his expectations were of this fabulous golden sarcophagus. Wasn't directing at all, we could just go off and do our own thing. But in fairness, I was a 13-year-old kid. I'd only ever made one monkey pot, and my pottery skills probably weren't that great. So here I am, and I'm offering up my work for the teacher's approval. And it looks like a sausage in a box. It was, to my memory, actually better. It looked like a mummy wrapped in bandages, in a plain sarcophagus, But I think the actual, in the sarcophagus itself, that was the outer one, the fabulous golden one, and there were more and more inner ones that were possibly simpler, So there I am. And we're stood in front of the Cabinet of Wonders. This is where all the great things that are made in the art class go into this cupboard. And as you can see, the door's open, and there's a space here. And the teacher's looked at me, and he's kind of perused my work, and my heart's in my mouth, you can imagine me waiting out there. And if you look here, you'll see a devil, and the devil's saying, you belong in here, your work belongs in here, well done. Unfortunately, there's another one here, and he said, don't be stupid, you know it's rubbish, mate, throw it away. And this is another devil there. This is the teacher's own personal devil. And I believe that we all have our own little devils, the ones that make us say and do stupid things, And you don't start off as a child, you don't start off with that devil, but at some point you will lose your innocence one way or another, and you'll be given your devil, which will follow you for the rest of your life. Yeah. So I'm looking up at the teacher, and he looks down, and he says, I'm going to put that in the cabinet of wonders. And I was absolutely, burst of joy. I was going to run home, tell Mum, Dad, my friends, all this kind of thing. He says, I'm going to put it in the cupboard as an example of one of the worst bits of pottery I've ever seen. So you can imagine that it was utterly destroyed by it, I think, at the time. There's not really an awful lot you can say, is there, about that? I think, we all teachers especially, they like to use sarcasm, and maybe it's not so bad nowadays, but it was very, very common in the 70s when I grew up. A lot of people had similar experiences, I think. Now it doesn't make it right. But yeah, so that was where we ended with that. And I have done a second picture. A picture where it's my reply. It's in the next video. So if you want to watch that, that'd be absolutely